Oh, mic in. That's something. It's not stereo though, it's mono. Oh, mic in. That's something. It's not stereo though, it's mono. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have to stick with mic in. Oh, mic in. That's something. It's not stereo though, it's mono. Cool, that's gonna be looping for a while. Cool. Why is... What is going on with all this? Your channel. Yeah, it's working. I don't know what is going on. I'll look it up. OBS. Legato wave. Not sending stereo. Wavelink stream mix, yeah. Legato. Mike, let me add a new one. New audio. Okay. Device, wavelength stream, okay. Is that coming in? Nope. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. Wait, hold on. Nope. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Just get rid of that. Yep, there we go. I'm interested as to why that's not working, but I'm not interested enough as to figure it out right now. Because we managed to get this all working for the time being. Alright, let's see. What track? What type of track do we want to make here? Wait, yeah. Yeah, what type of track do we want to make? So, we don't have a ton of options because we don't have any extra bits downloaded. And I'm not that, I haven't really figured out the creativity side of this yet. So, I do know I like making these about 0.75 in size. We gotta zoom down in on that. Or 0.75 in width, I should say. That ends up being a pretty solid width for allowing a 2x2 battle. It won't allow for a 3x3 battle or like a 3-wide battle. Slide that down there. Make that bigger today, actually. Yeah, we can kind of slide this around. Question, yeah, what type of track do we want to make? Because, you know, we could add a bunch of little squiggly bits and be going like bam into like a bam, although now that I do that, oops. Now that I do that, I realize like you can't do this because you'd have to figure out how to extend that. Like, how do you get this extended? Unless, can we, like, if we flip you over? Nope, can't flip it over. I don't know what that one is sitting down there. Raise that up. I mean, we could say like a terrain effect. Yeah, maybe we'll do. Maybe we'll try making a rally world. I don't know. Let's see. We'll raise the size of this real quick. Yep. Okay. Yo, Duck, welcome in. What's going on today? Sorry if my microphone sounds kind of crap. For some reason, it's not sending stereo signal to Elgato or to OBS, so I'm stuck on mono, which I'm pretty sure means that I don't have any of my additional effects, noise cancellation, and stuff like that. Oh, you know what? Let's look up the Mount Panorama track. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, so that's a pretty power-hungry circuit. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. There we go. So if we were to do Mount Panorama or something like it, we'd come up, you'd make the turn, start climbing up through here, and then it's pretty much a speed, like a downhill straight all through that. So let's see, keep going bigger. There we go. Increase the strength. This is not the fastest. I'm hoping that I actually can't see if it's increasing and by how much when I'm that far away. This does not look good. I am not gonna lie here. These things look bad. Like, I get there's just the base texture on the grass here. How tall are these, though? These seem pretty. It does seem like that's pretty tall. So if we're like ground level there. Okay. Uni, welcome in. Alright, so we're ground level here. I already started building down this side, so I definitely don't want to undo this and start building down here. Start raising that up. I'm trying to build a track, but I'm thinking about designing this after the Mountain Panorama track, so I'm trying to build a mountain right now. Or at least a large enough hill. So it's, oh, okay, there is a smoothing. Ah, that makes that look a lot better. Good to know the devs over at Axolotl are quite a bit smarter than I am and included a smoothing tool. Which means I shouldn't need to focus on moving my hand around so much. I like being able to hear my reaction in the background as I'm checking to make sure my audio works. Which, it's not working perfect today. For some reason, my microphone is not sending a stereo signal. It is only sending a mono signal, and it, like I said earlier, it doesn't sound like it's got any of the noise cancellation effects that I normally have on it. So it's a bit crap audio quality today, which is unfortunate, but I started stream late enough as it was. I'm not looking to try and change it again. So let's say that we start. Honestly, this can make for some good track movement right in there. Up, down. I might end up changing this. This looks like this could actually be a fun progression we've got going on in here. Turn down the strength on that smooth. Come down into here. Is there a paint, like a terrain paint tool? Color paint? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we can, like, paint this all. Is that rock? I don't know if that's rock. Either way. Good to know we can do that as well. Oh, that'll be a good way for us to kind of make the track, I think. Make a dirt path like. So if we turn down the size, oh, that's strength. Turn down the size, you know, you can run the track up along here, something like that. I mean, this obviously wouldn't be for Mountain Panorama. But that... There's nothing stopping someone from needing to go. BPK, welcome in. There's nothing stopping anyone from kind of cutting those corners. That would just be all integrity and stuff. Either way. I should actually draw out the Mount Panorama kind of like... I should make a cave. I keep saying I'm going to try and make Mount Panorama here, and I keep getting distracted. Or at least try to make Mount Panorama. Let's see, Mount Panorama is kind of... Oh, this is a perfect thing right here. You guys won't be able to see that. I don't have that turned on right now. Display cap. There we go. Mountain Panorama right here. As you can see, this map is perfect because it actually has elevation, so I'll be able to track based off of that. Yeah, this week I'm not doing racing this week. I want to try and make a new track. Try and test something out like that. The Twitch is the same as the YouTube. I think it's actually better over there because I don't like the name-wise is better over there. Why is that just sitting there? Because it doesn't have the sequence of numbers. If I ever look and see, it tells me I've got those. I don't want ground brush anymore. I want this smooth out. You can see where the lighting is hitting all that. Weird angles and stuff. Down we go here. Oh, I just noticed something's going on with OBS, because there's a lot of stuff missing. Twitch stats, Twitch activity feed. Yeah, quite a few things are missing from what should be here. I don't know why that's happening. Alright, so Panorama would be This is gonna be too big. Size, let's sketch this out. So starting down here, come up and in, kind of come around this way, lead up into the mountain, up into here, a little hairpin, and just a straight hill or straight downhill section with a little kink right there. All right, that's the rough shape that we're gonna go for. Now we can look at elevation. Hey, you found it. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. So we can start to elevate right along this path. The uphill section does start just about down here. So we can start by working up here. I want to make this as big as possible so I have as little to move as possible, if that makes sense. I hope it's not like because it's a larger brush and it has more area to kind of build up, it takes longer, because then I'm just making things harder on myself, and that's not fun. Just keep building this down. All right, let's go ahead and hop one down and take a look with this. A bank section would be cool. I could definitely... this one's kind of big. But right down in here... could maybe... that might be too small to have a bank section with. I gotta get all the way down. This tile is just huge. Trying to work on it. Let's start smoothing this off. Wow, that is way too high. Okay. How do I take away from that? Okay, it is control. Cool. Actually, smoothing is probably what I need. No, stop trying to save it. No. Seriously? Oh, I keep forgetting it's not the control button that makes me move. It's right mouse button. Rice mouse is apparently a thing now, according to me. Let's reduce the strength a little bit. Probably reduce the size as well. Can increase the height coming through here. I have to increase the height on all this. Because this gets... Mountain Panorama is supposed to be really tall up in here. This section is supposed to be a pretty aggressive climb. And then most of the mountain drop is happening right through there, with a small sort of continuous downhill section going through that. Let's keep building this up for now. Let's raise the center section as well. Shortcut, but a jump. What do you mean by that? Oh, make a shortcut. Okay, because it was 2 words. I didn't know what you meant. I see what you mean now. Okay. I don't know. I haven't tried any like Mario Kart type of thing like that yet. I could see that being fun, but that's a lot more testing to make sure that the jump is actually difficult. And, you know, if one, then everyone I think is building their car for the shortcut. And most of the track just gets kind of neglected then. So you'd have to do a lot of work making sure that the shortcut, if you do make it, is if you don't make it, is punishing enough to make it more of a debate instead of just like, oh yeah, we'll try it. If we don't make it, we just keep trying again or driving on. Keep raising all this up. Say once I don't know how long I'm streaming today, because I've been working on a couple of projects and I very much want to keep working on them. I have 2 projects that are going to be kind of, right now they're pretty similar. I knew they were going to be. That's just the nature of the 2 games that they are. Wait, why is that a separate window? I'm so confused. I knew they were going to be just by the nature of the games. But then I have another one that I'm working on. That one's going to take a lot of work, but it's mostly on my phone. So I've been able to keep working on that when we're going to job sites and stuff. I can pick up 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, doing a little bit of work to it, but I'm still nowhere near being done. And we still have the 500 subscriber special that I have to do. That one's just taking a while to try and finish up. Especially seeing as my scrap mechanic has been crashing quite a bit when I was trying to do stuff. I didn't want to risk running that one and us not having a good time doing that. Just want to do that to make sure I can see it better. I gotta drop to sort of be able to see that. Alright. That's a little high over there. It is an aggressive climb, I remember saying that. A lot of this is just kind of going to be continuous modification and touch-ups to get this looking right. Oh, I forgot I can shift to move faster. Okay. I want to see how this looks in person once I touch up this corner, because this is way too, this should not be sloped down like that. I get that. Sometimes it is nice to lurk in other people's chats if there's larger creators that you enjoy. There's one creator in particular who I don't understand. Their crowd work is absolutely spectacular. Even with how large of a community they have, they are continuously able to keep up with multiple chats. I genuinely don't know how they do it. It's incredibly impressive. Alright, let's see. Alright, that kind of looks like a pretty good climb right there. Alright, we're going to save this. Panorama. Exit the tile. I gotta build a world with it real quick. Create a new world. I think it needs to be 32 by 32. Panorama. Yeah. Alright. Panorama test. And we'll create this world. I want to go ahead and check this out. Driving around it. Yes, I'm aware of that. What can we bring in? All those vehicles we downloaded that I don't have the stuff for anymore. Someone's Camaro, that's cool. Our little, I guess we'll do our little Subaru. Oh no, that thing is horribly built. Hold on. Do I have a better vehicle? I really don't have a lot of good vehicles saved in here. Most of my good vehicles were built... what's its face? Okay, yeah, this was the vehicle that I was trying to build. Oh no, hold on, that is not the right version of it. Oi. Let me... How do I get rid of this one? Did not give me the opportunity to turn off. How do I... Okay. Why is that not catching up with that? Oh well. I'd love to know why auto mod is not... Oh no, auto mod did keep up with it. Okay, it's just still popping up on my multi-chat one. I got very confused by that. Sure. I think that'll work. Nope, this vehicle is too light. Ah! Alright, where's my sedan? Proto truck. We'll go with the sports car. All reliable. Heavy enough. I think this is actually the downhill section that we're on, which we'll have to level this off, and 25% won't be wide enough for sure. Yeah, making sure that this thing's level is going to be kind of crucial for making sure it works. It's a pretty decent length track. I could make it larger, but I don't want to make the racetrack too long. It's kind of a hard thing to figure out from where, like from the tile builder. It's not the easiest thing to kind of decide how that goes. That's a decent little corner back there. It'll need to be widened for sure. That hill's actually interesting. That could stay because that's a good way to catch someone out. I don't want to just one-for-one rip off Mount Panorama, is the thing. Like, I'm gonna take the hill climb section for sure. Oh, hold on, this is interesting. A little... Okay. Basically just put some hay bales or something. Like this is Art of Rally. Something in the way to stop you from cutting across. Oh, this is going to be a really big drop, isn't it? I feel like I need... I don't know. I'd like to put some sort of larger chicane or kind of hairpin turn in this area, but this is supposed to be... That's supposed to be the downhill power section. So I need to do on the uphill is where there should be more technical sections. Which, I mean, if you are to put, what's his face? Putting technical sections while going downhill, at least in real life, does make for a little bit of a trickier sort of section because braking points need to be a little bit sooner. You're losing downforce and everything. Gravity's pulling you down. So it makes for its own unique set of challenges when you're doing that. But I'm pretty happy with how the basic shape is. I don't think it was too bad. The only thing I could do is I could widen this out, kind of sweep around, come down and sweep around that way. If I could get over there, strength. Sweep around, come around in like this. With a more kind of defined section here. Why is all this grass so ugly? I don't know why that's such an ugly colored grass. But so that becomes a nice real power bend that'll test out your suspension. So that's a completely different, what's its face? That becomes a very different section than just this one. This is a straight line speed section. This is testing your the stability of your suspension, and then this area we can try and get it to be how quick is your suspension. So for that, let's go look at the Monaco track. Monaco track map. This section's good. This was a fun little turn. Moves into another. It's not so much of a power corner. It does come with the risk that if you fall, you're going off the edge. And there's that hill right up over here. That does well. Let me look up like a rally track map. Rally track map, images. I think we need to include a little, we could do the switchback section. Yeah, that's what we're missing right up in here. So instead of making this a power climb, which maybe, this isn't enough of a hill for it to really be a power climb. So instead, we can go ahead, raise this up over here. Smooth this out. We are so high up here. There we go, heighten. Bring this up a little bit. I have a little bit of a better view here. Okay. All right, and so instead, I need a good switchback layout. Let's make this a little bit smaller. As you're coming up, coming up, coming up. Needs to feel natural, so you need to kind of, ooh, instead of making that a straight, we can, whoops, sort of come along up in here. That's not a sharp enough corner. Up here, bam. Then we touch in on that. I don't know what that is up there. Yeah, so I like that idea. Switchbacking through this area. Not an exact switchback, but this I think will work pretty good. And the way I think to stop people from trying to cut those is quite literally just make them higher. We'll have to make them higher, and Twitch is being weird. What's Twitch doing? I only checked my audio on YouTube. Smoothing this out right here. What in the world is Twitch doing? Man, now I gotta go check this out. Let me just get down here. There we go. Oh, you're new to Twitch, but you can't figure it out. Okay. Let me go take a look. Oh, Twitch is fine? Okay. Alright, Cap. I'm actually surprised by how not far behind Twitch is compared to YouTube. Like, I feel like YouTube has a pretty significant stream delay, whereas Twitch is a bit more snappy, a bit more responsive. You don't think it's bugged, okay? I wasn't sure. Sometimes OBS can be weird with that stuff. Like earlier, OBS is not sending or not receiving a stereo signal from my microphone, so I'm on mono right now, which is annoying. But it is what it is. I'll have to figure that one out later. Alright, so... what? I have played Grounded before. That is a very good game. Ground material, flat. So I think we're going to go ahead and cover all of this over. Aha, gotcha. That makes sense. This is how you get rid of stuff. What version of OBS am I running? I have no clue. It keeps telling me to update. I haven't updated it. It was working fine just the other night when I was doing recording. Today it decided it wasn't going to work nice. I forgot Grounded 2 came out. Forgot that was a thing. It could be, it says right there, OBS 31.4, 31.0.4. It may not be a OBS issue. It very well could be like, I don't know. Yeah, 31.1.2. Things always break when I try to update OBS, so I tend to not update it. Oh, hold on, we can make that a really fun corner if we tighten that up. Wait a second. Hold on, hold on. Ooh, no, redo that, please. Ooh, hold on, that just turned into a really interesting corner profile. Ooh. Tighten it up leading into it. Right up in... Make it wider, coming right through here. Tighten it up there. And then widen it up. Widen it up, leading it out. Oops. No, that makes it too easy of a corner. I think we can widen it right there. That's an interesting corner profile. Because you gotta get wide on that, but now the inside can really defend coming into that corner. And we'll set like the start finish to be about here, I think. Mark that with just that. There's our start finish. Not sure what that material right there is. Oh, that's a character. That's what that is. That's why that won't delete. That's just a little guy. Why are you here? What is this model? I don't think I've never used the beanie before. Where did you come in from? Can I take control of you? Can I walk around? view. Nope. Save that real quick. All right, I'm liking this track right now. All right. We're gonna need to make this smoother down here. I need to make this basically a sheer cliff. If you mess up on this section of the switchbacks, you're gonna fall. Smoothing height. There we go. Smooth. Oh wait, I can flatten this. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. Do a little flattening there. Smoothing that out. Obviously, we don't want to make this super flat, but we can add a couple bumps and stuff in. Let's add a little more height in this section. What the? Why does that move this thing around? What is this thing here for? I'm so confused. Smooth, flatten, smooth it. I don't want water. I gotta remove this height. Well, I could also just move. Okay, so when I'm going like this, I need to pull uphill, or else it's going to push the height of up here down onto everything else. Smoothing that out. Smoothing that out. Okay. Can I remove this coloration right here? There we go. Make it as obvious as we can that, hey, you do not go up that section. Oops. We'll need to do the same thing, continuing this ridge line up the rest of the mountain, I think. Make this larger again. Pretty much just like that. There we go. And that adds a nice little bumpiness, which is kind of good, I guess, for a rally track. Like, you don't want this thing perfectly smooth, right? Just reduce the size real quick. There we go. We can really remove some of that down there. There we go. Connect these two up. Wrong one. No, that was the right one. I guess make this look a little more natural. Let's reduce the size of this. Make our way up here. This is Scrap Mechanic Thunder. We're in the tile builder right now, making a map for making a racetrack, or I guess a rally racetrack. This is not the survival part of the game, if you were expecting that. Alright, that looks pretty good. Nah, I don't like how that looks. I do too. We kind of started off with making this thing look with the base outline of Mount Panorama, kind of going down here and up, coming around. And now we're trying to make some modifications to not just straight up rip off Mount Panorama. Alright. My honest review, if you like engineering, computer, and how things interact, you'll probably enjoy it. However, there's a lot of discourse in the community about whether or not we're happy with the delay to promised updates that we have been expecting for a few years. This is dating back to at least 2022, 2023. There was supposed to be a major overhaul of the game dropped, essentially called Scrap Mechanic Chapter 2. Has not come out yet. It was promised in 23, and then I believe in 23 they were like, hey, we're not going to have it done, but it'll be out in 24. 24 it hasn't come out. We did get an update recently to the game for the physics engine and to add a couple new blocks. I'm under the impression that what's been going on is they sort of said this, they were like, hey, we're delayed because we are super invested in updating the physics engine. And on a physics-based simulator like this game, I don't know if I would say it's not mainstream. It's been out since 2016, and I've seen quite a few larger creators play the game. So I wouldn't go off saying that it's not mainstream. I would say Axolotl is a smaller dev company and may not have been expecting for this game to sort of blow up like it did. And they're still learning what all they can and cannot achieve in the time frame that they are providing. Dino King, welcome in. If you can get the game on sale, I definitely think it's worth your time. I know a lot of the community people who've talked with me and who've hopped in here have said that they have well over 1,000 hours into the game. So there is a ton to do. But a lot of people do feel a little burned and jaded from Evertech. No, I haven't heard of Evertech. Yeah, a lot of people do feel a little burned and jaded from the Scrap Mechanic Chapter 2 not being released when it was when we were told it would be. Personally, I just think that it's, like I said, these guys are learning what they can and can't do. It's kind of what it comes down to. And I'm willing to give them time because I have built a physics engine before for a game. And this was a small, crappy top-down 2D racer So I understand just how difficult it can be to build a physics engine, especially one on. Oh, it is for sure a steep learning curve. I only have a few hundred hours, and I'm still getting my butt handed to me by the community when we do races together. They've produced some stuff that I had no clue you could do. I think I'm getting tricked by the lighting over here. I don't think there's any height there. There's definitely height right there. I'm gonna need to flatten this curve right here. Oh, I'm surprised I'm popping up in people's For You pages. Thank you, Thunder. I appreciate it a lot, man. And if you do get the game, I hope that you have a lot of fun with it. Smoothing that out. All right, there's that little bank section right there. Oh, I gotta get rid of this ugly color right here. There we go. Ah, that's why I have that. So I forgot to get rid of that right there. I'm not sure I like how that turns in. I think we need to give... Might make sense to give people as good of a chance to set up for this corner as they can. Could set this to be a banked corner. Oh, hold on. Okay. So if we make this a banked corner right here. Raleigh, welcome in. How you doing today? So I'm wondering if I make this a banked corner. BPK was talking about adding one, and I didn't have a spot for it. But I could bank this, and it is the danger of, you got to make this drop down, come up into the bank here. The higher you take it, the more likely you are to fly off the edge. If I'm doing that, I feel like I should probably go ahead and cut out a ton of this low-level track. Kind of move it up to here. Get rid of all that. And we'll smoothen all this together. Oh, that just got rid of that got rid of pretty much the whole bank. Reduce the strength on that. Oh man, how am I gonna... This very much does not want to play nice. Maybe we'll reduce the size. That will allow me to smoothen that out a little more slowly. Now we can increase the strength, I think. Spot smooth it. see. I want there to be some sort of warning that you're kind of coming up to the top. That is an ugly, ugly profile right there. Hold on, let's work on smoothing all this down. That is, ooh-wee. See if we can't push some of this banking down that way. I'm not at the point of testing, and I'll generally use one of my own vehicles or make one because it's a good chance for me to kind of build and test. But when the track is ready, you should bring that vehicle in and race with us. Shameless plug, but we normally Saturdays we do some racing. This Saturday it was just I needed to get to work on this. This was one of the projects that I've been meaning to start. I have another racetrack that I am keeping secret because I'm actually very proud of that racetrack in terms of the track layout. I think that one is, I truly do think I made a beautiful track flow with that one. So I'm actually trying to keep that one hidden until it is finished. Which, as you can see with how long this is taking, it's quite a while before that one will be coming out. Speaking of which, I do also have quite a few other projects I need to get to work on tonight. I do like that little bump there. I just don't want it so dramatic. Alright. Yeah. Good little just bump in the way. Do that a couple spots, make this a little more tricky. It is a rally track after all. It's not going to be perfectly smooth. I should say rallycross track, because this will be smooth. This will be flat. This section will not be. I think I might make this. This might get flattened out. And we could turn the switch back into dirt. I don't know. This is a pretty decent amount of tarmac already, because it's driving back on itself. Oops. And that does present, I think I'll leave it. This presents right at the end of the tarmac, a good danger area. You know, you send it too hot into this corner, you're going to come off this edge right there. And this corner as well, which I think I need to maybe shrink that up a little bit. I want to force people high onto this part of the track. Maybe narrow up the entrance, leave the exit wide. Force contact up in here. obviously I'll make like a road to sort of come back up here. Just like, woo, be able to drive right up on this thing in case you fall. So there'll be a path back up if you do go off. And if your car can just make it up this side, you know, you don't have to come back up here. So that's encouragement for people to make a good car. But I for sure want to force cars to sort of come together, do a little side-by-side racing right up in here. Little contact. Ooh. Going into the corner, we want contact, but we don't want that contact in the corner, because that's kind of annoying. So we can shrink this up, coming into it through here. There we go. This is a little wide right here. We're also gonna have to figure out how to stop people from, you know, being able to take the line where they, you know, there's no curbs, there's nothing stopping you from really going off track here. So how do we prevent people from doing that? Obviously, down at the tight corners, we can toss a couple hay bales in, like, in all these spots. Force you to kind of drive around. I don't want to put them right up on the corners. You know, leave a little space. I want to encourage people to take as tight of a line as possible by leaving that green there. But in doing so, you know, you open yourself up to, like, if I place hay bales like this, you're going to want to kind of come in across here, and now all of a sudden you've set up, if you're coming across, up in, and you see green, if we put some hay bales over here as well, but kind of drop these right on the edge of the track. If you get too hot coming across, you're going straight into those, and you have to slow down and it'll mess up your line. I mean, alternatively, we could drop them real close in over here, right on the edge of the corner, which that would just basically come in, force people to have to come wide, respect the corner. So we can continue to control corners in that regard. The switchbacks, I want to control the switchback corners. I can force people to respect them by making these cliffs and pretty much dropping guardrails right here. You know, if I just pretty much flatten this out, width. Maybe that does need to be height. Oh yeah, hold on. No, we can keep the strength up. Pretty much just drop a divot right in here if we really wanted to. That'll make people respect it. Like, you want to go ahead and try and cut that corner. Good luck. You'll get your car stuck down in that tunnel. Smooth that out, obviously. Don't make it such an aggressive drop. But do the same thing right up in here. Like, you got to respect that corner. Obviously, maybe not that aggressive down at the start straight. I think what we could do is pretty much just... There's going to be contact down here. We can let you dip a wheel, maybe? Kind of like this. I don't know. Not sure how I'm feeling about that one. Oops. Do that, smoothing all this out. Love how you can see the geometric shapes pop up as we're doing this. Strength, I didn't want to move that. Not sure what control does with that, with smooth. Oh wait, that actually makes this a really interesting corner profile. If we allow for a little bit of kind of dipping down into that. Well, let's add a little height. Oh, let's add a little height back in here. We don't want to... We gotta flatten this out to the same height. Bring all this up. Flatten. Smooth it all out. Bring the size of this thing up. Then we can flatten. Yeah, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. We kept that danger of dipping into that thing. We did accidentally gain a little bit of a weird profiling right there. And come in with a little height drop to just basically throw people off. Smoothing all this out. Paint it gravel colored, sand colored, whatever. You know, make it like a gravel trap in Formula One right here. Obviously gonna try and highlight it. Let people know, hey, there's danger here. You drive over this, you're gonna get kind of you're gonna get a little messed up. It's a good way to let them know that it's there, though. Little environmental warning. Environmental storytelling, which games don't do anymore, unfortunately. A lot of games don't anymore, at least. They like to just tell you how things are instead of showing you. Ark Survival is the biggest culprit of this. It is a really annoying colored, like grass or sand. Is that hay? Yeah, the hay is much nice. Is a much more nice color than the sand. Yeah, we are. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the sand underneath that. It's just too bright. Okay. Now down here, since it's a little further away, we'll still have a little bit of warning about it, kind of clipping up over the edge of the pit. But I'm less concerned about it there. There we go. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm thinking I'm going to do this at a bunch of other spots. I might change this back to sand, because I can use the hay to kind of get a fall effect in some areas, like up the mountain, which, oh yeah, that is a ton of elevation. Oh, that is exciting. I didn't think I got enough elevation on this drive, but yeah, we definitely did. I think I want to get a bit more elevation coming out of this. So let me go ahead and heighten all this right here. Ooh, that was not the smoothest. There we go. How do we want to... Hold on, we got to increase the height of everything over here too. So I'll make this kind of drop right here. So we'll have a little dip section. Flatten this all out. Smoothen this section right here. Make that look a little better. Smoothen that. Okay. This did not flatten the way it needed to. For whatever reason, I was gonna say for whatever reason, making this wider, or making this taller kind of extended the track, and I wasn't sure why, but I think it's as you pull this up, it stretches the paint a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And we can smoothen you out as well. Flatten that terrain. Height, still want to reduce that more. Yeah, you can see it happen there. This is going to be interesting. Trying to get this to flatten out and then smooth it out. because this is obviously the track section, the asphalt section of rallycross. So we don't want this to be too bumpy. But we need to come back through and get rid of a lot of this. This got wide. This got way wide. Or it might just be that the position of the track got kind of shifted and now it looks wrong. That is very well a possibility as well. This section's got to get flattened out. Also got to smooth just everything. Maybe not so much smooth this section. That's kind of a cool vibe right there. This section we can smooth pretty nicely. Alright, yeah, that's a cool vibe right there. Okay, that flatten did not work. Alright, how's that look coming up this way? Good. This needs to be adjusted. That looks horrible. This is, yeah, that is not good. Smooth this out. I actually got to kind of bring this section up. I don't think this got enough, we didn't get enough extra height over here. It's kind of dragging the whole thing down. Now we can flatten this whole section. Yeah, okay. I don't like that. Smooth that out. Can we find... Yeah, do that. I think this should probably just kind of look like a straightaway coming out of that corner. Shouldn't need so much. Shouldn't need too much turning through here. And the track's wide enough that it wouldn't make sense to even have it in this section. So, we'll get rid of that. We can have a slight bend, but that's about it. Yeah, as the paint got stretched, you can see it sort of faded into the other terrain paint. And that's kind of what's causing this, one, the blurry effect, but two, it's causing the track to seem wider than it really should be. Smooth that out in this section. This is all a little bumpy. Yeah. That's pretty good. This corner's a little funky. How does that look now? That looks a lot smoother. Let's do a little spot flattening. All right, now that needs to be smoothed. It's been flattened, smoothed out. Extend it past the edge of the track. I think some of that's affecting how the track is shaping up. Gonna smooth that out. Let me see how that looks from down here. That's relatively okay. I'm not fully cool with that yet. We still have a little more. We still have something of a tilt coming in here. I think that might now be coming from the fact that we're extending past the edge of the track. Obviously I need to make sure all this is flattened out. There we go. That does not look flattened right there. There we go. Interesting. I was not aware that wasn't flat to begin with. This section I knew wasn't flat. We actually made it that way for a little bit. Yeah, I don't like how that looked. How's that? Smooth that out. Or flatten that and then come back and smooth out this corner. I want to flatten this section right here. I think we need to flatten that. Spot raise some of this. To hit that with a flatten. Oh, would you look at that? There's water here. Why is there water there? Oh, the water's gonna collect on the lowest part of the map. Is that what it is? If I build... Yeah, okay, it's gonna collect on the lowest part of the map. Interesting. Also, how does this look? We've been working on this corner for quite a while. We're not, this isn't even a corner, this is a straightaway. This section of the hill climb is taking a long time to get right. Okay, so come down. Coming up. Hold on. Yep. That is still not... Smoothing out. We might just have to accept this. I'm gonna say this is fine for now. If we want to come back and work on touch-ups here, we're not at end of we're not at the end of this building cycle or design. Like we are just getting started. We finally got the basic shape down, how we want this all to look. Do a little more kind of like artsy stuff right there. Spin around to this side. Again, a little more artsy stuff. Yeah, Koi, we're making a custom track right now. Or making our second custom track. There is another one that we have working right now. That doesn't look right. I feel like this might be one of those things. Adding this color might be something we just do from up here. That went onto the track a little bit. Just that one right there. I don't know what these textures are supposed to be. Like, what is... I guess one's like swamp, pod soil or something like that. What is the other one? Like, is that algae? I don't understand. Moss. That looks like moss is what that is. Where would you put that? I mean, that'll definitely fit on like the, right down in here maybe. Do like a proper, I guess if we're making like a pine themed map or something. Pine Barrens themed map would probably make sense with that. That's a lot more sand, isn't it? At the Pine Barrens, I think so. Reduce the strength again here. Oh wow, that is a very aggressive. What are you doing there? Smoothing all that out. This is looking pretty good for tonight. Oh, I need to take advantage of being tired here. I don't know why I am, but I absolutely need to jump on the opportunity. Freaking slept 15 hours last night, I think. Like a damn cat. I don't think I rolled out of bed until 4 or 5 today. It was one of those days. That's why I'm surprised I'm tired. But I absolutely should not be complaining about it. I feel like I might want to run the edge of this a little closer in. Try and smooth this out a little more. Is that pulling that down? Seems like it is. Height. Spot reduce the height all across here. Try and run the edge of this this corner in towards the track. See if we can get it to sort of be a danger corner, you know, high risk, high reward. Okay, now we can smooth that back out. All the way down to that. Yeah, there we go. We managed to run that right up onto it. That's a dangerous corner right there. You get this thing wrong? Yeah, no, tonight's just making a new track. There is no racing tonight. Oh, I think the stream's gonna end pretty soon here anyways. Because I want to sleep, but I still got more work to do on these projects. That's why there hasn't been shorts, is I've managed to get myself stuck into like 2 or 3 live projects, 2 or 3 video projects, and something, you know, working as like 8-10 hours a day. Something's got to take a hit. And it just ended up being short production. I just don't have the time to do it with everything else. That needs to get smoothened out. That is not a good looking profile right there. What in the world happened to that? Same thing here. What happened? It's kind of got an arch going to it down the center of the road. Smooth that all out. I need to make sure I'm only touching the track, I think. Going off track like I was earlier might not be helping my case here with trying to get the track smooth. See, that corner opens up nice and wide. Then we send it into a much smaller corner. Jockey for position down this one. Yeah, you gotta fight for position down in this this corner. Take position in this corner. drivers got to be brave through here, which I think it might make sense for us to kind of eat away at this. Get rid of some of the inside track here. Make it so you really got to be brave going into this corner. We want to force you to the outside on it. And it's a closing corner too. That actually worked out real well. Man, look at how that looks. That's a little too skinny right there. So we will add a little more. All it's going to do is just make this even more of a closing corner, which is the profile we were looking for right here. Now you come up, you're driving, and boom. This corner just appears on you. I mean, we were a little low. But you can see it's there, and there's nothing else right here. That's going to be an easy one to kind of go off on if you're side by side with someone. And you go off, Ed. It's straight down. Yes, there will be scenery. This project is gonna take a while. Like with how big this thing is, just putting the track together has taken us an hour and 45 minutes to get the shape. A little bit of like, all right, we want to do kind of like a gravel trap here, mud here, stone here. Like there will be a lot more blending that needs to happen. All this has taken an hour, 45 minutes. Obviously, we can start placing some assets and stuff. What are these called? Forest. So, you know, like this would make sense to put like pine trees and stuff here. Let me get in here a lot faster. A rocky section. Yeah, it would make sense. Like somewhere up here would probably be a good area to put a ton of rocks and stuff. There'll be rocks and barrels and stuff on the inside corners to, like I was saying earlier, stop people from cutting in and jumping across the track. You know, I'll be building valleys and stuff in these areas like we have going on here to, again, stop people from trying to cut across. That one needs to go like that way and up there. Yeah, like this is gonna look like you're driving in Spa. Spa-Francorchamps, and rocks on the track? I don't know if I want to put obstacles on the track. I see what you're saying, but yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Oh, that is actually beautiful with the little sunbeams coming down. Look at that. But yeah, like we'll have, I don't know if that one fits. This one kind of does a little more. Yeah, some of these lower shrub trees. Get that one it facing this way and kind of slide up this side. It's reaching out that way. Could actually put this one over the track, sort of. We inch it up in this direction. Yeah, like we could do this for sure. And a little bit of actually what I was thinking about doing earlier. When I added that gravel trap and I used the hay, I kind of looked back at it and I was like, you know, I could probably... Let's make this a little more obvious. This coloration here. This is the proper kind of like pine tree color thing, I believe. So if we take a little bit of this hay, can I then lay this back over? I don't think we can. Take the hay though. Kind of looks like dried up pine needles underneath. And so when you're on top, oh my goodness, look at that. Hold on, Chat, we cooked. We are cooking right now. We freaking cooked here. Yeah, see, doing stuff like this is gonna cause this to take a while. Being able to layer different paints. Standard? What is standard? Oh, okay, that's like different terrains or something. The hell? Oh, okay. Flat. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, being able to paint different terrains and stuff on top of one another. It's gonna make this take a while. Don't want too much of that in there, because then it's just going to start to like look a little orange. So we just remove a little bit. You know, when you get up on top of that, you're like, oh look, there's pine needles on the ground. That is a brilliant move here. Actually, we don't want it underneath that one because that's not a pine tree. There we go. Oh yeah. And then to show off what we were thinking of with one of the other ways to stop people from kind of getting up onto all of this stuff. That is way too big. What the crap? Okay, we don't want that there. Oh wait, there's like the little foliage stuff here. We can add shrubs in and all that. Man, look at all this. There's so much you can do here. Bro, this track is gonna be pretty. Oh, and it's even got different colors. Oh wait, does the color? Please tell me the color changes depending on what surface it's put on. No, I think it's changed. I think it's random. Is it random? Oh, look at how much color there is and how beautiful. Oh, that looks. Keep tossing some of these like small stones up in there. I wish it was like a paint tool to just drop down foliage and stuff. That would be very nice. I think I can. Can I? Like, copy and paste? I don't think so. Oh wait, I can control the color of things from here. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. Can we kind of... Oh, it's beautiful. We can make fall. We can make fall. Oh my goodness. Alright, the timeline just got pushed back even further on this. We're making custom colors. This is gonna take a while. And we can then even put in like, what's its face? Toss some corn in there? Yeah, I don't like the look of the corn. Maybe we could do eggplant. I don't know. Put that in. Foliage plant. Small foliage. Oh, birch tree. Hold on, put a birch tree in there. That beautiful yellow. Oh my goodness. Chat, we are enjoying ourselves right now. This is wonderful. And look, this is just one small section. Like, we gotta do all this up. We gotta do all of this on the rest of the track. Obviously, we won't do it everywhere. Places where there's, you know, like little valleys and stuff, like right there, we can kind of avoid. But to pack this like a forest is gonna take me days. It will take me physical days to do this. Oh, wait, they got freaking oak trees and stuff like that. Like dead oak. Oh, goodness. Oh, we can even get straight up broken trees in here, man. That's like someone hit the tree. Why are you snapping? Oh, look at that. Come on. Come on. You can't tell me that we're not cooking right now with this. I mean, don't mind the rest of the scenery, but we are cooking right up here. And it doesn't look good, sure, because there's like a ton of dead space behind this. Imagine this is just filled with trees. How big are you? Not big enough. I was hoping to be able to use that as a start sign. Oh. Wait a minute, we can get like guardrails up in here. Oh, they're destructible? Wait, they're destructible? Oh. Someone's gonna hit these things and it's just gonna go flying. Okay. Now we can do like that. Obviously that looks terrible right now because it's all floating. But we can do that on the corners. Oh, we can do a burnt section way out here. Okay. Oh, there's even more. Even more trees and stuff here. Oh, come on. Come on, game. Oh, did not want to do that. Like, I know that one's technically destructible, but I can't just... Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is going to look good when we start doing some proper spacing and stuff on these. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back to this. Man, does this mean I'm gonna have to set aside time for all this? It's like that might mean I need to do 2. Either every other week is gonna have to be a dedicated track building stream on Scrap, or I'm gonna have to do 2 scrap streams if I can. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Not with how my August looks right now. Because I'm going to be not in town next weekend. And then I'm going to be not in town at the end of the month. So we got a bit going on. But, boy, is this going to be fun. Alright. Yeah, it'll get done at some point. It's going to look good for sure. But... yeah, this is going to take a while. What the hell? I have not had YouTube open. Why the hell is there like 7 people in here at one point? At one time? Okay. Holy shit, yeah, alright. It is 1 in the morning, and I know I slept 15 hours, but we gotta do work. This song that I found on YouTube Studios is bang on. Like, I'm surprised. Hold on, is there? Oh man, we can put cracks and stuff on here. Okay, hold on. Come on. That's cool. We can make this thing look broken if we wanted to. Cool. Alright. This is fun. Arrow. We don't need any arrows. Burn marks. I mean, instead of like burn marks and stuff, that's tire marks right there. Circle. Cracks and chips. Can I color black? We're gonna like kind of, yeah, fade it up to the right so it'd be about the same color as the ground. Move it over here. Oh yeah. Hold on, this just keeps getting better. The amount of stuff we're finding in this thing. Put an axolotl logo up there if we wanted. Oh wait, we can even add like curves and stuff, like lines if we wanted to our curves. Hello. Okay, interesting, all that stuff. I'm sorry. Runny? What in the world is runny? Rust? Oh, we could do oil stains if we wanted. Double stripes, so... Oh, wait, we can make... Oh, they do got tire marks. Hold on, we gotta make, Where's... I gotta get rid of this stuff real quick. Come back here. There we go. That's like our start finish for now. Is there a U shape one of these? No. Parking line. I mean, we could definitely make what we're thinking of. Let me see. No, we're not making speed bumps. We're trying to make the starting grid. Yeah, don't know what's going on with that one. Just turn snapping on. Let me delete that one real quick, because if I can... Oh, I can. Okay, let's delete all these. I didn't realize I could copy-paste things together. Oops, don't want to do that. For you and that one? Nope. Why are you all... Slide that one back. Slide that back as well. Slide that back and slide that back. There we go. And these need to kind of tuck in. A little far out. We'll start off with 5, because I'm not finishing this for now. And we really haven't had more than, I think, 4 or 5 people in a race at one time. So I'll leave 5 there for now. We'll upgrade to 10 one of the next times that we work on one of these. But I'm not sure this is going to be the exact finishing position, so I don't want to drop all 10 down and need to move them later. But that's a good reminder for myself that they're there, because we might extend this curve a little wider to make the start finish straight longer, and we can get more of a run up coming into the first turn. Ah, man, I have so much work to do. I gotta kind of rough up the entire dirt section as well. You know, part of the whole rallycross experience is needing to transition from what'll be a smooth tarmac section to rough, bumpy dirt section. You were saying put rocks on the track, and at first I was like, I don't know, because I was only thinking of the big rocks, but they have these small stones, and I could maybe put those on the track. Kind of make a section where I could put a warning rocks, like rockfall type of thing. Kind of build up a cliff around that area. I could make this section go a lot more down. As you can see, we kind of have that going on here already, so I could drop all this. And then we could put a ton of these like small rocks on here. I tried to copy and paste all the trees. It doesn't let me. Unfortunately, it won't let me copy the won't let me copy that. I'm not sure that we can copy multiple things at once. Yeah, no, it looks like we can only copy one tree at a time, it seems. Which is really, really sad, because this would, make a nice tree section like this. Be able to just kind of drop it everywhere would be a lot quicker. I'm wondering if I can build a tile and put that tile in and move that around. So we save this real quick, hit a new one up, and forest, bop, 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 bop. All these guys, just toss them in there. We're going to call this test. Exit here. Play. Build a world. Create new. 32 by 32. Panorama. Can we... No, I can't paint that over that. That sucks. So you're saying I just got to copy the entire tree section. When I try doing that, it doesn't allow me to... What's its face? Oh, we are so high up. Like, I don't see how... Unless I need to click on each and every one of them. Which wouldn't make sense that we have to click on their nodes, and instead we have to... Or sorry, that we have to click on their nodes and we can't click on the asset in the list. This takes forever to get down. And that is with the sprint function going. If we are at full speed, I mean, this will get us down a little faster, but we still have to go over. Oh, we're almost there. Okay. So let's see, we try and click on a bunch of these. Yeah, I don't know, but as you can see, when you try to shift click, it actually changes the color is what it does. I don't know why it changes the color. Actually, why does it change the color? That is confusing. Yeah, it just copies the color over. And then trying to copy those. Come over here and like paste that. Don't let me. I can copy, I think, one of them at a time. Nope, just want these two. Yeah. Even when we try and copy two things at a time, it won't let me. Clutter library. Oh, hey, we can add grass. Wait a minute. What in the world is Sherville? Alright, let's just see what happens when we clutter. Toss every single clutter on in here. I want to see what this looks like. Even with fish bones. Have broken roads and warehouse scrap. We definitely don't want all that. Seaweed? Yeah, seaweed doesn't look right in here. Don't want that. No, no. I will turn the strength down. Turn the size up. And we will go up real quick. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful because it will go on, what's its face? The road surface. these guys we can really populate the ravines with. Kind of make it be like, oh yeah, water collects down there, so they grow in these areas. Oh, that got onto the road surface a little bit. I want to come down, take one more look at this, see how that looks. Okay, yeah, that does look good. Actually having a ton of clutter in this. It should not be as entertaining as it is. No, I'm with you. But apparently a ton of other people agreed with you because there's been a lot of activity today. So we can even toss this down in here, help fill that in so it's a little less of shrubs that we gotta kind of lay down. Oh, but I mean, that is just pretty. I feel like I'm walking through ignoring that lighting glitch, I feel like I'm walking through Narnia. Alright. Yeah, I don't know why we cannot copy and paste. Editor, view, window, help. Grass clutter, assets. Tools. Shift to duplicate an asset. Okay, that's finally no longer having that big old lighting glitch. It says shift to duplicate an asset. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. We don't gotta build all of these individually. Oh my goodness. Now we can just like flip that. Oh, look at this. I should not have gotten that excited over being able to figure this out. Even better now, this is a squared process. So now we get to yeah, we pretty much just get to paste this. Yeah, because it's a squared. We read the instructions and it told us to do the very thing we were trying to do. We can still add stuff so it's not the exact same thing over and over again. Like you can kind of see it right here. How they're all lining up like this. So we'll kind of shift that one over and I'm going to shift that to create a second one. I'm going to change your color to be like that. We're gonna like just grab, I don't know, from here. We'll grab here to here. Definitely don't actually want to grab that much. Grab this to this. I'm gonna bring that over. Whoops. Lost that. Get a quick rotate on that. Pull that off the track a little bit. A little too many pine trees. I think we'll delete some of them. You can really see just how many pine trees there is up there. Actually, we can just bop, bop. Just look at pine. Yeah, there we go. That knocked out a ton of the pine. I want to find, where's these guys? There we are. Bring this one over. Up that way, a little over this way, up that way, a little over here. Bring it up a little. Yeah, there we go. And we just pretty much run down here. I want to take a look at that. Oh yeah, this is starting to look really good. That is pretty. You know, I forgot that it's funny because I had run into the issue of I constantly kept on shift clicking and moving things before, and I'd gotten into the habit of not doing that, so I forgot that it even did that. So when I go back, now that I'm thinking back on it after having gone through and we figured this thing out, I'm like, you knew that already. And I just straight up forgot. I guess that's what I get for streaming at 1:30 in the morning. Dear goodness, I need to go the hell to sleep. All right, this is exciting. I got to work on this more at some point. We got so much done. Holy shit. I thought I was going to stream for 30 minutes. It's been 2.5 hours. All right. This is fun. All right. I can't wait to race on this thing. I'll have to test it out a little bit more. I'll have to build a decent kind of race car, maybe download one. I don't know. I'd want to build one so I can get better at, like, again, suspension stuff is still not my strong point. So I'll figure all that out. But yeah, this is going to be a lot more fun. Alright, I gotta go. I need to get some sleep. I still have coffee. I still have more coffee sitting out in the coffee pot. I'm not going to let that go to waste. So I guess I'm drinking more coffee. Okay. Yeah, no, I gotta go to sleep. I'll figure more of this stuff out. Alright. Goodbye.